Hey guys, Redmaster here, and today bringing you another video in the Reds tutorial series. Last week I talked about the focus deck and how they work well with stealth, but this week I'm going to focus entirely on stealth itself, not with the focus. Like I said, there were a bunch of variations for stealth decks, such as focus. I had a mental brain block there. And the one that I am using today for stealth, which is pretty much a sneaky movement spirit crash thing. Not sure why. Why'd I throw Ota? Oh. Well, I don't know if I even made this deck correctly, but I'm going to kind of explain to you what I was going with for the stealth deck. Of course, we have. Let's talk about the topic of stealth first before I actually get into the deck. Stealth has. Actually, no, let's go back and out of that. Stealth has about. I want to say 4 cards related to them, and 2 cards that kind of take it away. The buffs include Ambush and Face of the Dragon, where Ambush gives a stealth unit plus 4 attack, while Face of the Dragon gives any unit plus 2 attack, plus 1 movement, and stealth at the end of the turn. So those are kind of just general buffs to units that revolve around stealth. Oh my lord. Next we have our units that have stealth, Kunoichi and Koru. Very deadly moving around the board since, as you know, stealth is an ability where you cannot see where the opponent's unit is moving. So you have no idea of knowing where these guys are on the map, which can prove very devastating in any sort of deck that relies on stealth. And of course you have the 2 cards that take them away, entirely separate from ninjas. You have Burning Sun, you're dealing 1 damage, so that's like a bit of weak removal, but you're taking away stealth effects, so units like Kunoichi, Koru, anything with Face of the Dragon, those will be exposed. And then you have Fenrir, who reveals all stealth enemy units as soon as he summons, so that points out where everything is on the map. So now, without further ado, let's get into the deck itself. Okay, never mind. First off, we have Ambush. Ambush, of course, I explained why he's in there a little bit earlier when I was going over the card itself. It's going to give my stealth units plus 4 attack. Aijutsu, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Someone told me that this is supposed to be an I, not an L, but that's kind of bad capitalization on their part. It looks like a lowercase L. I understand, though, because everything else on the words are capitalized, so I'm assuming that this is going to be Aijutsu. But, if you have a stealth unit walking around, giving him 6 attack, and having the enemy search for him, will take some, distraction, and then you'll pounce on the castle if he's unable to find you, with either 8 or 10 attack, depending on who you put this on, either Kunoichi or Koru. Next you have Shadow Katana, basic 3 attack buff, nothing too special there. Guardian, because, I gotta have some sort of unit out there to have my enemies look for, so they're not just bum rushing my castle. Harmonic Balance for the attack. This card is a very debatable one, especially since it's going to give units 3 health, so if I want to take something out, I'm going to have to give him health, which I don't really like to do, but if I'm going for the castle, then yes, this is a good card, because it'll give all my units 3 attack. Kunoichi, because it's stealth. I need stealth in this deck, of course, because this is a stealth deck. 4/4, 3 gold. Good stats for this unit, especially at this kind of gold tier. Rampage. If I damage Koru off of someone and I want to bounce them over to the castle or another enemy unit, this card can get me over there quickly, and I'll be able to launch some devastating damage on either my enemy's units or the enemy castle. Scout, kind of same thing as Guardian. I need something to distract my opponent from what's going on with my sneaky stealth units. Face of the Dragon, another buff spell. If I don't have a Koru or Kunoichi, but I have a Scout or Guardian out, pop this on them, they become my stealth unit, and I can start revolving some cards around them. Koru, because, I need him. Kind of need stealthy just to run around do their sneaky thing. Wind Mage, knock some guys into position if I need them to, kind of forces everyone back, and that could launch some devastating attacks on the castle itself. Actually, I'm going to swap that out really quickly. My apologies for showing Wotan in there. Actually, I want to throw in another Eternity Strike. The Eternity Strike and the Temple kind of fit hand in hand, and even the Fist of the Five Gods. They essentially work together. These three cards, Eternity, Temple, Fist, they'll come up focused. They're part of the focus deck I showed last week. They are able to cause some serious damage if your opponent does not know where the unit is that you have positioned for it, and depending on what's on the field and how they're positioned, they could do some devastating strikes, maybe even end the game if you're lucky. Ice Blast, because I want to slow down some enemy units. I don't want them advancing all on my base if I'm not prepared. Maybe I'm going to swap out Spirit Crash. Originally it was intended to just be another damage buff, but I think I need some more units looking at my count. About 14, it's very low. Let's just throw Fencer in there. Let's throw 2 Fencers in there. Primarily for the sake of making sure my base is defended. Temple I explained. Winds, I'm throwing this in there as a test card to pull everything forward so it's easier for my guys to get to the base. That's kind of what Winds of the North is built for. And I already explained Fist of the Five Gods. So first of all, we're going to test it in single player mode. We're going to find it. We're going to play Warlocks, because Warlocks are very aggressive. So this is a good hand. The Kunoichi and Eternity Strike will do well. Going to have to pass. As you can see, a lot of this is not going to help your situation, depending on where you are. Guardian. Okay, nice touch. Rat. We're going to throw our Guardian down. We're going to get rid of that zombie right there. I doubt his rat's going to be able to do anything potentially dangerous. And the Dark Breaker doesn't do much. Okay. Now this time we're going to throw Kunoichi on the board. Let's get our opponent, or the AI, somewhat thinking about where my unit is. Okay, so he takes that out, no problem at all. We're going to give our guy some buffs. We're going to give him that extra health. It probably won't matter next turn anyway, depending on how big of an attack we start to get. Right now we can't find him. Get on our part. 13 damage, that's pretty good, but let's buff that up a bit more. We got 18 damage on him. Let's just toss that right on him. Horseman. Will he go for the... No, he won't go for me. Okay. Let's throw an Eternity Strike just to finish it off. You know, see how the focus spell works there. Quick work of the AI, of course, because, you know, they don't focus too much on stealth. But let's see how it does in an actual match. We have my friend here waiting for... If I could find him on the list. Yeah, da-da-da-da. Where is he up here? Is he online even? I don't see him online. Oh, there he is. He just sent me one instead. Maybe he's offline. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to use this deck. Somewhat of a decent opening hand to start. I'm going to replace that Wind Mage right out, and we get... Okay. Not going to tell what I have. Kind of just tell if they're okay or not, because I have my opponent sitting somewhat very close in the vicinity. I don't want to tell out my strategy. He throws the flying books down. In response, we're going to throw our scout here. Okay, he's getting a bit anxious. He's gonna throw some sort of defense. He thinks the scout's gonna do something. And you see a lot of cards in his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in his hand. He doesn't do anything though, which gives us the opportunity to throw out that. Now our guy is somewhat stealth. Let's see if my opponent can get to where my scout is hidden. The risky problem about Face of the Dragon is that you know where he's playing a unit and then moving it again and giving it stealth afterwards. It still kind of exposes what's where it's going to be. So now we're going to start throwing on our stealth buffs. We got 10 damage right out of nowhere. Then we're going to go back into stealth mode, so now his spells can't affect me. He has to find out where I am, which he should really know because I just exposed it. Alright, he found my guy. Books aren't going to do him any good, but the blacksmith strikes a finishing blow. I now have not much of a solid defense, and his Call to War is going to bring him out a stealth unit because I can't see it. That's wonderful. Alright. An interesting play there. Kind of threw me for a loop. The Call to War brought him a random unit, turned out to be a stealth, so now he gets that stealth advantage on his side. Let's see what he has for it. Interesting. Okay, so his unit's right there. Let's go ahead and do an Ice Blast. It's gonna weaken him, but I know he's right here. Turns out to be Kunoichi, as I expected. And now we're going to get pushed back a couple more feet because of Hall of Winds. Now, Hall of Winds, I'm just going to talk about this card for a moment. It's good for combos like these, as you can see here. He's played the Suit of Armor. He's going to get his, hopefully he wants his armor right up on my base, and that's something I don't really want. We're going to take him out there. So right now, not a lot of stealth things in our hand. We do have one stealth unit, however, just not the right buffs. Kind of use most of them in that beginning assault. He doesn't have any sort of wind card to knock the Suit of Armor back into my base. Shame for him that now we're gonna do that, which puts us in Guardian striking range as well as Eternity strike range. We're gonna do some damage on that little suit over there. And by now he's gotta reach my base within the next 3 turns. He's also gonna take out the Guardian to save himself, pretty much. But as you can see, movement plays a lot in this situation. When you're playing Vikings, always expect some sort of movement. Okay, he played Rally the Town, a good card. That takes out my Guardian, and now it's got him some more buffed units to walk around. He takes out... Okay, so essentially he's going to try and finish me off. We're going to throw some of our stealth units down just to confuse him a bit. Hopefully it takes his mind off the base. Probably won't though, and if he has any more attack, that's not going to be good. Plays Rune Warrior. Alright. And he buffs it with Blessing of the Trance to make that a Super Rune Warrior. But another stealth trick I like to use here Fist of the Five Gods. You see that massive damage. Took out a lot of what he had. So that's about it for this stealth video, guys. If you enjoyed, please make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that nice stuff. The series will continue every Friday, of course. And hopefully when I know these event cards have been coming out lately, I haven't done reviews on each individual card, but just going to gather information. Keep an eye out for an event card video analysis soon. I'll be going over quickly. I'll just bring it up here. I'll be going over all of these and if anything else comes out. So until then, guys, stay gaming.